Institute, batch 22. Today, I'm going to discuss about the topic, the art of effective listening, how to really hear others. In a world full of noise, true listening has become a rare and powerful skill. Most people listen to reply, but very few listen to understand. Effective listening can heal relationships, build trust, and improve communication in every area of life. Today, we will explore how the art of listening can transform the way we connect with others. So, my first question is, what does effective listening really mean?
Jazz, hey, good to properly meet you. And that's, wow, a really thoughtful topic. Seriously. It's kind of wild how little people actually listen? So, what does effective listening really mean? Hmm. I think it's less about like perfectly capturing every word and more about genuinely trying to understand the other person's perspective. It's not just hearing the words, it's hearing the meaning behind them. It's letting go of what you're going to say next and being fully present with what they're saying right now. Does that resonate?
Okay, right. My next question is, what do you,
Go for it.
why do many people struggle to listen attentively?
Oof, good question. I think there are a bunch of reasons, honestly. We're all just kind of distracted these days, right? Phones buzzing, a million things on our minds. But beyond that, I think a lot of it comes down to ego. People are often more interested in getting their own point across than understanding someone else's. It feels good to be right, to have an answer. And truly listening requires you to kind of set that aside. It's vulnerable in a way. Plus, some people just aren't taught how to listen? It's a skill, but it's not always explicitly taught. What do you think? Do you see that in your studies at all?
Okay, what is the difference between hearing and truly listening?
Ah, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Hearing is passive. It's just your ears picking up sound waves. Like I hear the hum of the refrigerator right now, but I'm not really paying attention to it. Truly listening, that's active. If it requires focus, effort, and a genuine desire to understand. It's about processing not just the words, but the tone, the body language, the emotion behind them. It's about asking clarifying questions, summarizing what you've heard to make sure you understand, and responding in a way that shows you were actually paying attention. It's like hearing is physical, listening is mental and emotional. Does that make sense?
Okay. Uh, how does active listening improve relationships?
Huge question. Honestly, I think it's foundational. When someone feels truly heard, it validates them. It tells them your thoughts and feelings matters. That builds trust, which is pretty much everything in a relationship, right? It creates a safe space for open communication where people feel comfortable being vulnerable and sharing their honest selves. It reduces misunderstandings, prevents conflicts from escalating, and just generally makes people feel closer and more connected. It's like it signals respect, and respect is a powerful thing. It's not just romantic relationships either. It applies to friendships, family, even work colleagues. What have you observed in your own relationships?
What are the biggest barriers to effective listening?
Okay, so we've touched on a few already, but let's really break it down. I think the biggest barriers are probably distractions, internal and external, and phones, your own thoughts racing, background noise. Then there's prejudgment. If you already have an opinion about someone or a topic, it's easy to filter what they say through that lens instead of listening with an open mind. And interrupting! Oh man, interrupting's the worst. It completely derails the conversation and shows you're not valuing what the other person has to say. Also, giving advice when it hasn't been asked for. Sometimes people just want to be heard, not fixed. Does that feel right to you? Anything you'd add?
How can body language show that someone is truly listening?
Oh, good one. Body language is huge, honestly. It's like a silent signal that you're engaged. Things like maintaining eye contact, not staring, but genuine connection, nodding to show you're following along, mirroring the other person's posture subtly and facing them directly, and avoiding distractions like looking at your phone or fidgeting. Open posture like uncrossed arms also signals openness and receptiveness. It's all about showing you're fully present and focused on what they're saying. It's kind of fascinating how much we communicate non-verbally, isn't it? Have you studied much about nonverbal communication in your training?
Why is empathy important in listening?
Empathy, yeah, that's key. No, it's more than just understanding what someone is saying. It's understanding how they're feeling, being able to put yourself in their shoes, to see the world from their perspective, even if you don't necessarily agree with them. Without empathy, listening can feel cold and detached. It becomes about analyzing information rather than connecting with another human being. Empathy allows you to respond with compassion and understanding, which builds trust and strengthens the connection. It shows the other person that you care and that you're truly invested in what they're going through. It's a bit of a superpower, if you think about it.
Okay. How does
All right.
technology how does technology and social media affect our listening habits?
Ugh, that's a tough one, isn't it? I think generally not great. Technology and especially social media encourages multitasking and short attention spans. We're constantly bombarded with information, notifications, and distractions, which makes it harder to focus on one thing, like, say, a conversation with another person. Social media also tends to prioritize sound bites and quick reactions over thoughtful dialogue, which can reinforce superficial listening habits. It's easy to scroll past something you disagree with instead of trying to understand it. Plus, online communication often lacks the nonverbal cues that are so important for effective listening. It's easier to misinterpret someone's tone or intent when you're just reading text. It's a real challenge to stay present and truly listen in this digital age. What's your take on it? Do you see this affecting your students?
Right. What role does patience play in becoming a better listener?
Patience is absolutely huge. It's not always easy to truly listen. It takes time and effort to unpack someone's thoughts and feelings, especially if they're struggling to express themselves. Rushing someone, interrupting, or jumping to conclusions all shut down communication. Being patient means giving the other person the space to speak at their own pace without judgment and allowing them to fully articulate their thoughts. It also means being willing to sit with uncomfortable silences and resist the urge to fill them with your own words. It's about trusting that the other person has something valuable to say, even if it takes a while to get there. It's a practice, honestly, like a muscle you have to build. Do you find that you have to consciously remind yourself to be patient when someone is speaking?
What role does patience play in becoming a better listener?
Oh, my apologies. Oh, um, I repeated that question. Brain glitch, I guess.
Okay, okay.
Seems
So next question. How can
I'm not as perfect.
how can effective listening help solve conflicts?
That's a really important one. Um, I think effective listening is often the key to resolving conflict. When people feel truly heard, they're more likely to feel understood, and that can de-escalate tensions pretty quickly. Um, it allows you to get to the root of the problem rather than just arguing about surface level, and it encourages empathy, which, as we talked about, helps you see things from the other person's perspective. When you understand where they're coming from, it's easier to find common ground and work towards a solution. Basically, it shifts the conversation from me versus you to us trying to solve a problem together. It's about understanding their needs and concerns, not just stating your own. Does that line up with your experience?
Okay.
Great.
So
Anything else on your mind?
yeah, yeah. My next question is, why do people often interrupt others during conversation?
The age old question. So common and usually not even malicious. I think a lot of it stems from a few things. Sometimes it's excitement. Someone gets an idea and just blurts it out. Sometimes it's a desire to show you're engaged, like you're actively participating in the conversation. But More often, I think it's about control. Interrupting can be a way of subtly asserting dominance or steering the conversation in the direction you want it to go. It can also be a sign of impatience or a lack of respect for the other person's thoughts. It's a tricky habit to break, though, because it's often done unconsciously. Have you noticed any patterns in why people interrupt in your own interactions?
Okay, thank you very much for this discussion. See you next. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.